About to turn down 3rd Street down here in Darien. You can see where the upper sawmill was. So I'm turning on to 3rd Street. Okay, I'm riding through Mentionville, which was named after the Mention family that worked at the upper sawmill. And this is the neighborhood that grew up around the sawmill named Mentionville. This is where I'm driving through right now, on 3rd Street and all the other ones. Today I'm at the end of 3rd Street in Darien, Georgia, at the very end of West 3rd Street. This is Cathead Creek you see in front of me. And this location right here, this whole area is where Upper Bluff Sawmill was located, on Cathead Creek. On the Darien, and it converges with the Darien River further back that way. The Upper Bluff Sawmill was built in 1840. It was a steam sawmill. It was originally owned and built by W.M. Scarborough. The second owners were the Murs family. The third owners were James and Robert Lasheson in 1845. This is what a sawmill looked like during the 1800s. Very similar to probably the Upper Bluff Sawmill. Looked just like this, all made of wood. There's some bricks involved and some other stuff in steel. But this is what a sawmill looked like in the 1800s. Okay, we're looking at 3rd Street West in Darien, Georgia. You can see right here. That's where the sawmill was, this whole area right here. Because right here is Cathead Creek. So the sawmill is all in this area right here. Upper Bluff Sawmills right here in this area. And further over here was Mentionville, where the people that worked at the sawmill lived. This is in Darien, Georgia, on the end of 3rd Street. And that whole area over there was where the Upper Bluff Sawmill was located in Darien, Georgia, 1800s. And this lumber mill was burned during the Civil War in 1863. The Hilton and Foster Lumber Company bought the Upper Bluff Sawmill in 1879, and they rebuilt it after the Civil War. The Upper Sawmill produced 20 million broad feet a year of lumber. Cathead Creek you see out there, you can see it out there through the woods, was a holding area for all the raftsmen that came in from down the Omaha River. A wharf's built over here for small schooners because it was hard to go up and down the Darien River, so they built wharfs over here where the sawmill, this whole area was a sawmill, and built schooners to come up here because the river was so hard to navigate, so only the smaller ships can come up here. People who worked at the sawmill lived near it, and this is the town called Mentionville, which is where they live right next to it, and Mentionville was named after the Mention family, which worked at the sawmill. Completion of the forest in Middle Georgia caused the Upper Bluff Sawmill to close down. The Upper Bluff Sawmill closed in 1906, and the Upper Bluff Sawmill is one of 3 sawmills. But right here by this river, this whole area was Upper Bluff Sawmill right here in the 1800s, where all these houses are. This whole area out here was a sawmill. Now houses are here. Upper Bluff Sawmill in Darien, Georgia, and I'm riding through Mentionville, which was right next to the sawmill. So imagine in the 1800s that rafts used to come down this Darien River up to this area right here. It's rafts that were coming to the sawmill to bring the pine and the lumber, or the timber they cut down from Middle Georgia. The rafts were held together, were logs held together by nailed cross beams. They had tents on them for the men to stay in case it rained or get out of the cold, as they rode the rafts down the Omaha River to Darien. From Middle Georgia, like Macon area, Lumber City, those areas like that. Raft sizes that floated down this river was 80 feet long and 35 feet wide with square pinage. Once the rafts arrived here at the Darien River, and the sawmills were up in this area, there's one further down there, one down this way. They tore them apart and they put them on public and private booms for sale. Men had to ride these rafts all the way from Middle Georgia to here. So once they got here and sold their pine and got their money, they walked back to Middle Georgia, the Macon area and all that. And later on, when they got the railroad, they rode the train back to their homes after they rode the rafts all the way here and got their money. It was a rare sight in 1912 to see a raft come up here, because the railroad took the place of the rafts that came up here. But back in the day, there were wharfs out here, docks, all kinds of different stuff for different things up in this waterfront. It was totally different looking. And this whole landscape was different looking back then.